Hi, welcome to a new edition of Things I've Learned and Kind of Retained. So today is body wisdom. Body wisdom. Our bodies, I feel like, okay, so for me, I ignored my body a lot before, I would say 2020. I didn't really pay much attention, but I started to realize that if I ate fast food, I would feel very crappy afterwards, but I didn't connect it for a long time. So, for instance, I would eat like a burger or something, and then later on, the next day, I would feel really crappy about life and hopeless, and then I wouldn't connect that I had eaten fast food the day before. Um, so that happened and happened and happened, and then I started to correlate the information. I was like, oh my god, every time I eat fast food, I feel really crappy, but I wasn't paying attention that I had put that in my body, right? So slowly I started to eat healthier and not fast food, and I started to cut down on candy and and things like that, right? So it still can happen to me. I noticed when I came to the office, I I had a tendency to drink a lot of coffee, like a bigger thing than this of coffee every day, right? It was like 32 ounces of coffee, amazing, like get ready for the day, and then I'd load cars and whatever, and then drive down the road. But when I came to the office, I would still drink the coffee, but now I'm not doing anything physically, so I would just feel really stressed out. And then I would forget that I drank 32 ounces of coffee, and so then I would be sitting at the desk like, in this new office, in this new position, trying to not be stressed out, but I still drink a bunch of coffee. So I've realized that our bodies, we kind of like forget about them. Oh, I do. I don't connect certain things to it, or don't listen to it, right? Like a lot of times we can get distracted by the day, and then our body is trying to tell us something, and we're like, sorry, don't have time for that. Don't bother me right now with all your body bullshit. And I've learned that it's very important for me to listen to my body. Our bodies are wiser than we know, and they are trying to tell us things all the time. And it's good to listen to the body. A lot of times we can store stress in our body, we can store trauma in our body and not even know it. And in my experience, someday I will have to, like, it pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, like I stored a traumatic experience in my back for a long time, and I thought that it was very apparent. I thought everyone could see this knot of muscle in my back that has always hurt me, until I did some yoga therapy and I released it, and I haven't had a problem, which is so weird because it was all in my mind, that part of my body. So after I did the work and I released it, I don't have the problem with my back anymore. And I thought for sure everyone could see this knot of muscle or feel it. And I asked my friend, hey, can you feel this right here? After I started thinking about it, and they were like, no. I was like, what? It's gotta be giant. So after I worked out the trauma with some yoga therapy, that part of my back doesn't bother me anymore, and I've released it. So my body was holding it, but also my mind, right? So our body and mind are connected, but sometimes we just don't listen to our body. So it's very important to eat healthy and exercise. I have found that when I feel depressed, I stop and I go, okay, what did I do? Did I eat anything that could, cause this symptom? No. Did I exercise? And if I did, then it's like, okay, it's not from exercise. Did I exercise? Did I eat right? Okay. Then it's something else. But if I didn't eat right and I didn't exercise, I start there. Like, I'm probably depressed because I didn't eat right or exercise. So that's a good starting ground. But for a long time, I didn't think about that. I would just feel depressed and not know what to do, not realize, let's start at the base and then we'll work our way up. Make sure that we're eating right, make sure that we're exercising, and then see if this depression continues. If it does, take the next steps. But that's just me. Like take the next steps of going to a professional or getting medication, things like that, whatever it is on your path. This is just things that I've realized. So if it resonates with you, then awesome. We're on a similar path. And that's all these are just things that I have learned and kind of retained. I'm not meaning any harm or projecting anything onto other people. It can be touchy when you're talking about depression because I don't understand clinical depression. And so I like to give grace and space to people that experience that and understand that you can't just fix that with diet and exercise. But for me, if I feel that way, I can stop and think about, what did I do? Did I eat or exercise? I did both of those. Okay, this is a bigger thing. But most of the time, I've realized that I didn't set myself up in a healthy way. So I've learned to stop and listen to my body more. And breathing and meditating are a good way to do that. And another thing that I realized is not to hate on my body. I used to waste a lot of time, and I call it wasting time because I feel like that's what it was, looking at my body and judging it and not liking it. And one day I started to think, oh, what if we choose our bodies, right? Like, what if we choose to come here and we choose the body that we're going to be in, and we forget once we're born? I like to think that when we die, we get to kind of like watch a movie of our life in the afterlife and see what we did. And so I was thinking, if I'm watching that movie, and then they're like, you hated your body when you were 8, you still hated it when you were 12, you hated it when you were 18, you hated it when you were 30, like, dang, you chose that body and you wasted a lot of time on earth hating that body that you chose. Like, and it's not my body's fault. And if there's anything, so I started to learn to not judge my body, just be thankful that I have this vessel. I can move all of my limbs, right? I have all of them still. Just started to be thankful and great and give gratitude about the body that I have, instead of judging it all the time. Like, this is the body that I have. I'm not going to change that. So why not just accept it and give myself some grace and stop hating on this body? Why was I feel like I wasted so much time doing that. So that has to do with the next thing, which is self-love and self-acceptance, but we won't worry about that right now. We're just talking about body wisdom. So listening to your body more often. I learned that is important and kind of retained it. Thanks for listening.